Happy Tuesday. How are y'all?
Great.
You good? There's like a good crowd for a June sales meeting. I am loving it.
Business is good, gotta get here.
Business is good. You got to get here. Okay.
Right.
I love that. I love that. Well, there are some faces in the room that I don't know yet. So for those of you that might not know who I am, my name is Andrew Morrison. I am the new team leader. I think this is day like 49, something like that. Not that I'm counting. However, it has been a pleasure to be here, to join you all. We've got some things we're going to talk about today. My goal, and I've laid this out a little bit to some of you and in different rooms, is that the first meeting of the month, which already happened, is more the update meeting, the what's coming soon, what's the next training, what's the BIC update, what's the department updates, right? We're going to spend more time in that one. The second meeting of the month is going to be more celebratory and values-based, right? So today, the value is going to be, we're going to talk about where we're going, a little bit of what, after being here almost 50 days, where I believe we're headed as KW Central and what that looks like in my mind. I'm going to seek some feedback from you in the room. So once we get to the latter part of this meeting, it's going to be a little bit of two-way communication because I want to hear from you because I haven't been able to hear from each one of you. I've heard from many of you and excited to do that. Sound good? All right. Well, let's roll. Ultimately, we dive into the MVVBP, and this is what drives the vision you're going to hear today from me, is our mission. This is global, right? And yet I believe it impacts us all locally. And I want you all to have truly a legacy worth leaving, right? Like this isn't just about coming, in my opinion, to a job every day. Am I right? Right. I think you all got into real estate for much more than a job, right? I think you saw flexibility, right? You saw opportunity, right? Hopefully you saw an uncapped income amount, right? For whatever that looks like for you. So ultimately you can live the life worth living and give experiences and have a legacy you leave behind. All right, we're going to jump into some values. Who's up for it? Who's up for the challenge? I've got the Keller Williams H2Go branded water bottle. That was not important. Whatever just fell off of it. Just a rubber band. Who's got the Y4C2Ts? Who wants to give it a shot? Nobody? Okay, yeah, we can start there. We got to get them all. We'll see what we can do. So you got it started. Win, win, or no deal. So let's go in order. So Y4C2Ts. So win, win, or no deal. The next one's an I. Yep. Do the right thing. So Y4Cs. Go for it, Shay.
Well, I know the communication part, but
Communication, seek first, understand. That's one of them. It's not the first one, but that's okay. We'll give it to you.
do we say customer?
Not yet. So that's the first C, right? Customers, they always come first. And what do we do with our customers? We starts with a C. Someone help her out.
Communicate.
Well, we communicate. We got that one. Commitment in all things, right? The last C, which we don't earn the right to do the last C if we haven't done the first three. Creativity. Ideas before results. All right, so Y, 4 C's, 2 T's. Trust starts with honesty. What's the other T? Teamwork. Look at what we're doing right now. A little bit of teamwork.
Yeah, thank you.
Right? The YMCA, right? Together, everyone achieves more. 2 T's, it's an E. It's the newest edition of the Y4C2Ts. Equity, opportunities for all. And the last one, the S, success. All right, one day we'll do the dance. I'm just warming you up a little bit. Results through others. The shake of the water bottle, y'all. Like that was a,
Thank you guys.
I think that was a valiant effort. Like, Shay, how long have you been here? Right, since February, and she just like went for it. So go Shay. Way to go. All right, we'll continue to dive into and commit these. Why are these important? Let's talk about that. Why are these beliefs important? They guide us in our business, at least I hope they do. Why else?
I take these like I take the whole ball.
Yeah,
You know, each one has a separate meaning,
sure.
and this should be the basis of our business.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
yeah. I mean, think about what's going on in the market right now, right? I was just talking to Jeff about this a minute ago. Think about it, how's the market feel right now? Is it up or down? So overall, it's actually down. Are there areas of it that are up? Yes. Is unit count is down. Interest rates are up. We're in the middle of a very contentious election year. We've got an antitrust lawsuit that's being settled.
Together like that, it just sounds terrible.
Now, okay, so we say that though, right? Like, does it sound terrible? Yet, are we winning? Yes, right? Do we have a choice? We have a, right. We don't have a choice in what we've been given. We have a choice in how we deal with it, right? And these should be the guiding principles that help us deal with it, right? When I walk into a listing appointment now, what should be the first thing that comes to mind? The very first one, right? Win-win or no deal. I mean, if we can't come to a win-win with the seller on an agreed upon commission rate and how the buyer side might or might not be compensated, right? These are guiding principles that apply in everything we do, right? Every business decision we make. Let's jump into some bucket fills with Dolly. So we don't pick these guys. Corporate gives us these GIFs. So like, yeah, like it comes straight from corporate. I didn't go find Dolly. They gave me Dolly.
He said, if you don't like the road that you're on, pay a new one.
I love it.
I thought Daniel picked them. Dolly.
Yeah. We'll give Daniel credit. All right, let's go for some bucket fills in the room. What do we got? What are we grateful for, thankful for? Someone in the room, maybe? Oh, sorry, Dreama.
I'm thankful for Marion River trying to get me a check that got lost. They weren't upset about it. They were like, no, don't worry about it.
I love it. Awesome. That's what we're here for. Yes, Carrie.
Thankful for all the agents in this room. I would really love to see all of our new agents, from all of our seasoned agents, all of our new agents sit up here and tell us who they are. Because I don't know who they are.
We'll work on that, Carrie. We'll work on a solution for that one, for sure. Yeah.
I like the home tours, a lot of new people there today learning, so I think that's really smart and a good move. There's very experienced agents that were there that answered questions, so I think that's really smart, and I'm like, it's really for killing up.
I love it. Yeah, let's keep doing that, right? What? Yes, give me a second. Was there value in home tours, those of you who went this morning? Yeah. Right? Opportunity, y'all. And let me go back to and plus that a little bit. New agents or agents that don't know certain parts of the market, you show up on a home tour, do you think you're going to learn something? Yeah. Right? There's opportunity for us to learn from each other, right? That comes back to one of those Y4C2Ts, teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more, right? Opportunity. Shay.
So Daniel, he comes every Wednesday for his tech meetings, and sometimes it's just like me and him or me and one other person. And, last week, we gave him, like, he made up for lost time. So thank you, Daniel, for, getting our websites, in order.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
I love it.
And feel free to join them, except for not tomorrow. We're closed tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow is a holiday. There is no slide for that. We missed that slide, Daniel. I missed it. The office is closed tomorrow for Juneteenth. It is a federal holiday. Just FYI, Valerie.
I'm bucket fill you
Okay.
for pouring into us and taking on this challenge.
Wow.
Appreciate it. You've done a lot. I can see it already.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Any other bucket fills? Ariana.
I'd like to bucket fill Karen. She answers my phone call and text. And she's always wanting to help. I also like to bucket fill Tammy took some time out of her day last week to help me with something and answer a question, which she didn't have to do. And then also Sam. She's always a smiling face in the office, and you can't not be in a good mood after talking.
Love it. I love it. Jamie.
I made a mistake, but she reached out and saved me. So I appreciate that.
Love it. Love it. Y'all, does this feel a little contagious? Love it, right? Culture is how we win, y'all. How we show up is how we win. So thank you for showing up. I see a couple more hands, Dreama.
Fact that thankful people are happy.
It's true. It's true, Tasha. Love it. I love it. Awesome. I love it. All right. Happy birthday in the month of June. Some of you already had birthdays. Kathy Pinter, happy birthday 17 days later. And then a few coming up. Tammy Eggleston tomorrow, Alice Boyd, Mackenzie Brown, and Sherry Clayton. So happy birthday. Hopefully we got everybody. Happy anniversary. This is not wedding anniversaries. This is KW versaries, right? So this means you've been with Keller Williams as your place of business for a year or more in the month of June. So congratulations to Rhonda, Hilla, Cynthia, Carl, Rebecca, Daniel, Lori, Alenka, Kent, Delia, and Demetra. I hope I said your names right. Newcomers that came in the month of May and one in June. So we've recognized some of you. We continue to recognize new people for a couple of months. Katrina Roush, Allison Lassiter, Tasha McGee, and Jamie Hairston. Any of you in the room? I know there's a couple of you in the room. There's 3 of you in the room. So welcome. Welcome. Look who capped. Congrats, Evil. Congrats, Jim. Kathy Pinter. Natalie Marone. Congratulations. Oh, yes. Your capper hats. Your OP is generous and spends money on you. My last OP didn't do this, so. Hey. And I'll see Natalie this afternoon. Congrats. Did you all cap last month? And the other capper that we went back and forth, and you'll understand why we went back and forth in a minute. The wine stocks also capped last month. We had a slide and then we deleted the slide, then we had the slide and we weren't sure. So Jeff and Judy as well. You need a second half. Their first transaction, Susan Chapala and Val Rayner. Eventually we'll get more fancy. We'll actually have certificates for you. We're working on it, y'all. Baby steps. So we're going to recognize some top producers. We're going to recognize the top 3 producers in every category for the month prior. So the top 3 solo agents, the top 3 teams, and the top 3 groups. And this is based on closed volume. So not units, it's closed volume in the month prior. So not year to date, just in a month. So let's recognize some top agents, starting with the third. We're going to go up to the top agent in each category. Okay, so third, second, first. But I don't like calling them third, second, first. They're just top producers. You're all top producers, and yet we're going to recognize the top 3. Margaret McCann closed over 1.3 million. Congrats. More than most agents close in a year across the nation, y'all. So, Dimitri Sawyers, 1.4 million. All the way from Hilton Head, closed 1.4 million in the month of May. And top solo agent in the month of May closed 2.46 million. Christy Donaldson. Y'all, that's a month right there. That's a year for a lot of people. She could buy a new truck. That's right. I see what you did there, Pete. All right, top producing teams, the Montrose Property Group, 837,000. So a team is 2 producing agents. Okay, so they can have a licensed admin, they can have, but it's 2 agents that help in the production. Glidewell's, 968,000. And the top producing team for May, the Rachel Z team with 3.78 million. All right, top producing groups. So this is 3 or more producing agents. Oops. Yep. Rachel was also recognized, y'all, as the number 9 top agent in all of the Carolinas for Keller Williams. So share some love with Rachel. That's impressive, y'all. Like, you have to think about the markets we compete against for top positions, like Charlotte and Asheville and the beach and many other places. Our average price point's much lower. So to show up on this list is a big deal for our office. You can all do it, promise. And Rachel has. Top producing groups, the Melissa White team with 1.57 million. The Sandy Sparks sales team with 1.8 million. And the top producing group, the Judy Weinstock team with 3.7 million. Congrats on amazing Mays. And this is across the board, not just the ones that were on the screen today. We had a record month. We had the biggest month we've had in, I think it was what, over 14 months, Robbie? And we were able to profit share over $24,000 back to our associates last month. So congratulations. You all did that. All right, let's run through some quick events and then we'll get to some value. How many of you like market stats? I see some hands, right? I see a lot of head nods. How many of you have been to Family Reunion or Mega Camp and watched Gary present them from stage? Handful of hands. I don't know about you, but that's when I first started to fall in love with market stats, right? Was hearing it broken down on a digestible level. Well, Ruben Gonzalez is really the guy behind all the numbers. He makes Gary look really smart. He's the analyst for KWRI, and he does a monthly market snapshot. Now, this is national. It's not local to the market. We're going to work on getting more local stuff here. But he does this with Jen Lewis, and they do this every month. It's on the KW YouTube channel. So you can go watch those. Every month they release a new one on what's going on across the nation. So this is an opportunity for us to get informed. Now, what do local market stats tell us? Or sorry, national market stats tell us? It's shareable. It's publicly on YouTube. Yeah. What do national market stats tell us? Trends, big stories. What else? Mixed. Sarah? Yeah. If we think about the national snapshot, you all said the right things, right? There's really no wrong answer there. And yet that's what informs what the media is telling everybody. right? Think about it, right? How many of you have gone in to meet with a buyer or a seller and they talk about what the news said? Right? Well, the news said this or the news said that, right? Understanding what they're hearing on a national level can help you be more informed walking into those conversations, knowing what you're about to walk into, and helping present a local light, right? Shed some local awareness on those trends to help them bring that into local market ideas and what they can do here locally. We're not gonna actually watch the video because it's like 30 minutes. First-time homebuyers. How many of you done a first-time homebuyer or homebuyer seminar? How many of you would like to do one? There were some more hands go up. So if you log into Command, right next to, at the very top, you've got Command and then you've got Connect. Go to Connect. There is already an entire homebuyer seminar built out for you. It's got a PowerPoint you can customize. It's got a marketing plan. It's got all the social media graphics. It's got the worksheets. There's even a Spanish translation of it. They built it for you, y'all. It is ready to go. You literally just need to change the dates, edit the presentation, and run with it. Partner with a local lender on that. I know there are lenders that will do that to throw that with you. They'll come in and teach the lending side of it. Yes. Yes. So sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. But the toolkit is there. You can scan the QR code to get there. You can also get there through Connect and Command. You can see it on the screen. Connect is lit up. It's the second button right there. You can access all the KWU content, all the playbooks, everything is there. Still see some phones in the air. I'll let those go away because I don't know what slide is next. Models for the mid-year. How many of you love numbers? Be honest. Only a few of you, right? I get it. I get it. How many of you love setting goals? How many of you love setting goals and having a business plan? The same few, maybe a couple more, right? So I'm gonna do my best to put one on the calendar next Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. And then I'll do another one in early July. We're gonna do a mid-year reset. Using the one thing principles, we're gonna do a mid-year reset, check in with where you're at, where you wanna go, and it's not gonna be boring business planning with numbers. So please show up. I promise I will make it fun. We will have a good time together. We will learn and grow. Next week, Wednesday. Let me set a time right now, Maria. Let's just do it, right? Team, keep me honest. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Let's go for next Wednesday. Can we do 10 a.m.? Next Wednesday, 10 a.m. We'll be in here for about 90 minutes. Yep. Daniel, can you make sure that ends up on my calendar? 10 a.m. next Wednesday. That's right. EP will be ready to go. We'll send out emails about that too. We're gonna do a mid-year reset. It's gonna be great. Yes, Wednesday the 26th, 10 a.m. Look at that, y'all. Just putting things on the calendar, writing live. Thank you, Maria, for holding me accountable to that. We're gonna make it happen. Use Quick if you haven't. So how many of you get into Command and you go to do something and you don't know how to do it? And it's like late and you don't want to bother Daniel, right? And sometimes you still bother Daniel, right? Yeah. Sometimes Daniel's gracious enough to respond after hours when he doesn't have to. Quick is, how many of you have used ChatGPT or some form of artificial intelligence? Okay, we got some more hands. Quick is that inside of Command. You can ask it questions about how to do something and it's learning. So it's pretty good. It's already loaded with a massive knowledge base and it's growing. So jump in there and use it. The more we use it, the more it's going to learn, the more it's going to help us all.
Best about it is that you ask them where to find something or whatever, it gives you step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very.
Yep. Yep. It essentially took the answers.kw.com, which is where every answer for everything is within KW, and it put it in an artificial intelligence database where it can go search it and find the best answer for what you want to do.
It keeps your history.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. I haven't played with it yet. So, I don't spend that much time in the agent side of command, y'all. Not like I used to when I was the tech trainer. Mega Agent Camp coming up quickly. It's going to be old school Mega Agent Camp style, a little more mastermind involved. This is the last year it's in Austin, Texas for at least 3 years. So if you're like a fan of Austin, want to go, there's still room, there's still tickets. We'd love to have you there. It's going to be a great time. Like, anyway, I'm not going to belabor the point. However, let's talk about 2025. Family Reunion 2025, they've made a commitment at KWRI to give us the dates of events as close to a year in advance as possible so that we can plan our calendars. Because if it's not on our calendar, it doesn't exist. And the first thing we should time block on our calendar is vacations followed by major conventions, right? Our major training blocks. So February 17th to 21st in Vegas again next year. Before I hear the grumble and the Vegas again. I get it. Not everybody loves Vegas. Thank you, COVID, for having Vegas back to back. It's COVID's fault, not KW's. We were booked to go to Vegas in 2021, and COVID happened. And so in order to honor our contract, we had to book 2 years back to back. So that's why we're going to Vegas twice in a row. I don't know about y'all, but I love me some Vegas. Oh, we have a video. All right, we're going to move on from that. How many of you have heard Phil Jones speak? Okay. You should go watch some YouTube videos and then decide if you want to go to this class or not. This is next week. Actually on Monday and Wednesday, there's 2 options, or sorry, Monday and Thursday. He's doing exactly what to say. It's an all-day seminar. You'll get a custom book. He's phenomenal. Anyway, I'm going to move on. K-Score. How many of you know what K-Score is? How many of you got your license through K-Score? Anybody in the room? Okay. Thank you. At least one person in the room got their, oh, right here. You're doing yours right now. You know, we want to get people in there. We want to help continue to grow the industry, and we want to make sure that they're trained right. So if you know of anybody that is interested in getting their license, we're happy to help them do that at no cost to them. Let's go with some quick updates. An MCA update. Just wanted to let you all know that this morning we parted ways with Mary Holder. So she's no longer our MCA, effective this morning. It was a tough decision. However, we felt it the appropriate decision to move us forward the fastest way possible and the best way possible. So we're not going to dive into details behind that. However, what we do want you to know is you're still going to get paid, and you're going to get paid quickly, because I know that's the first thing everybody says is like, oh, the MCA is not here. How are we going to get paid? You're going to get paid. I processed checks this morning already before the team meeting. They will be processed this afternoon, and checks will be cut. So I just want, in full transparency, there'll be an email to go out this afternoon as well around that. We love Mary. We think she's a wonderful person. It just wasn't the right fit with where we're going. But you will still be paid. That's the most important part. Your commission will still be processed. If there's anything we can do to support you in the interim while we find a new MCA, please let me know. I'm all ears. We are also looking to fill that role as soon as possible. I don't want to be processing checks every day. I have other things in my top 20%. So if you know anybody that is operationally strong, that has maybe some numbers or bookkeeping experience, we are accepting resumes for that to fill that role. Any questions on that? Good. Okay. So I want to move into what I'm calling a town hall. And this is really, and I've talked about it quite a bit. I spent the first 30 days here interviewing top agents in the office, figuring out what was going on, what was your perspective of things, how could we best support you? And I have kind of a vision, yet I want you to help me flesh it out. I want you to help me put some legs to it and help it grow. So I have, again, ideas. My ideas are fruitless if you aren't bought in. If it's not something you actually want, but I think you want it, then it doesn't matter, right? Because then I'm just going to put things on the calendar and spin my wheels and you not show up. Yet I want to make sure it's valuable, and I want to make sure that where we're going is valuable to you. So we have put into place some guiding principles for our leadership team. There are 7 of them, and I want to walk you through. This is how I, in partnership with Robbie, expect our team to lead together moving forward. And these are 7 principles, if you will, that kind of fall in line with the MVVBP as the company as a whole. And first is that everything is possible, right? Do you all believe that? Right? Literally everything is possible. We're going to need your help to do it sometimes, right? You all set some really big goals, right? Are they possible? Absolutely. Right? We want to help you achieve those. We want to believe in you. If you want to go start a business, we want to help you start that business, right? Whether we think it's possible or not, we know it's possible, right? We want to help you find a way and build really big real estate businesses and other things, right? We believe that there's opportunity for you to create multiple streams of revenue. We want to help you do that. We're going to not live behind the word no. We're going to live behind the word yes, and let's figure out how we do it. Passion first. If we're not passionate about what we do, I've invited the whole leadership team, then let's find you a new job. Right? Like if you're not passionate about what you do every day, then let us help you find a new opportunity. That's the same for you as agents. If you go, I don't want to sell anymore, or I don't want to be a transaction coordinator anymore, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that, then where's the passion? What makes you get out of bed every day, right? Let's figure it out. Is it that we need a bigger why, or is it that we need a different why? Right? I want to help you do that. Our team is going to help you do that. We are connected. Whether we realize it or not, we win together and we lose together. Right? That comes as a leadership team, right? We believe that if one person does something, right, that affects the other people on the team. And so as a team, we're going to lead together and we're going to be in lockstep together. And if we're not, then again, that's an opportunity to go back to passion first. Is this really where you want to be? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to live in service to you. We only exist as a leadership team because you're here as agents. And if we're not serving you, then I need to know, because we got to fix something, right? That means in how quick your files get reviewed. That means in how quick you get paid. That means in the training that's on the calendar. That means how we greet you when you walk in the door, right? It means how clean the space is upstairs. All of those things are customer service that we want to deliver at the highest level possible. If we're missing the mark, then let us know, because we want to do that and we want to deliver at a high level, because we're 100% accountable. We're accountable for our actions and we're going to take ownership of them. Are we going to make mistakes? Yes, we all do, right? We're humans. We're going to make mistakes and we're going to be accountable to those mistakes. We're going to take ownership of them and then we're going to move forward. We're going to fix it and we're going to move forward. An attitude of gratitude. We talked about this already earlier, right? Thankfulness. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to serve you every day. And again, if we're not grateful for that opportunity, then why are we here? And we want to live to give. This comes back to that service piece. If you can't tell, there's a common thread through all of this, and it all comes back to how we serve you at a really high level. And there's no time to wait, because the 7th principle is the time is now. Like we're moving, we're going, and we want you on the train with us, or at least one of the trains that's in my head. I have a lot of them, and you neurodivergent folks will get that. there's no time to waste, right? Particularly in a market like this, right? We have to be adaptable. We have to be adjust on the fly. We have to move. We have to go, right? Like if something changes and we're not putting training on the calendar right away to address it, then what am I doing, right? If I delay too long, we could miss an opportunity, right? The time is now. We're going to jump in. We're going to go for it. We're going to make it happen. Thoughts on that? You don't have to give me a lot of feedback on that section. I wanted to give y'all. And I had shared some of that with the ALC, I think, last month. I told the ALC last month, I don't have to do this, right? I get to do this. I don't have to drive an hour every day to get to the office. I get to drive an hour every day to get to the office. I was not about to live in Alamance County. I love y'all and I wasn't going to do it. I'm too much of a city boy to live in Alamance County. I love y'all. You're great people and it's not my place. All right. Let's talk about some. Yes,
My opinion.
please do.
I always have an opinion.
Yes, you do, Carrie. I have learned that. I have learned that. Let me pull up a chair.
Yeah. You know, when I started here in 2016, that was one of the things that I loved about Keller Williams. And, you know, I came from, when I started real estate, from Prudential, which when I worked for Prudential, it was a dog eat dog world. And people were backstabbing. I mean, it was just awful. Now, does that happen here? Probably.
And that was just in our office.
But I don't see that. And the one thing that I loved about Keller Williams was that the business here is about you as agents, about us as agents. And that to me is like one of the most important things because he's right. And I've worked on the leadership side, so I know. But if leadership can't take care of their agents, we're not going anywhere. You guys may go somewhere else, and we
hope
see
not.
that flood of people leave. And I give you guys kudos for sticking it out and staying here and allowing them to make it right, because I know eventually it will become right again. And we will be an extraordinary office again. I still think we are. But you will see that we will be extraordinary.
Yep.
I believe that.
Well, and I think, Carrie, to that point, I believe you all already are extraordinary, right? You're here, you're showing up for yourselves, you're showing up in the market, and you had a phenomenal May, right? You are extraordinary agents. You deserve an extraordinary leadership team. And that's what we're doing, right? We're going to lead with extravagance. We're going to lead with excellence. And we're going to drive us forward so that we can raise the bar and continue to be even more extraordinary than we already are.
And just finally, one last thing. If you've got something to say, say it.
Well, and I think here's the thing to that, Carrie, it goes back to, I don't want to go all the way back to those slides. Communication. What's the tagline on that one? Seek first, understand, right? So instead of leading with statements, right, and pointing fingers, we lead with questions, right? Seek first, understand. If you don't think something's being done the way it should be done, then ask questions about it. Hey, Andrew, why does this happen? Hey, Robbie, why did we do it this way? Hey, Daniel, why do we train it this way? Hey, Rivers, why do you think this is the case? Right, ask questions. We'll have answers, and if we don't, we'll figure them out. And it could be that we just have a blind spot, right? We want to be better. We want to grow more because people rise to the level of the people that lead them, right? And if we're not increasing who we are as leaders, then how can we ever expect you to increase? At some point, you are going to leave if we don't, right? So we're going to continue to level up because we want you to continue to level up, right? Not all of you in this room are cappers yet. Notice the word yet. Right? I have a vision. I have a dream. There will be 100 cappers in this office. And let me,
A lot of hats.
that is a lot of hats, Timmy, but I will gladly buy 100 hats a year. And we'll dive into some of this. I'm sure some of this will come out as we get into some of these topics. A lot of you have asked for a lot of things. That's not a bad thing. Those things come when we have more people and we cap. And please don't hear me going recruit, profit share, because right now you're the most important people. Do I want us to grow? Yes, we have to. We have to. Yet, if we're not growing internally, we can't grow externally. And if we're not providing you value here today, then we can't recruit anybody to it. And I'm working on changing that word out in my vocabulary from recruit to attract. This place should be an attractive environment. And it should attract you to show up every day, and it should attract others to want to join us. Right? So don't hear me when I say that it's all about recruiting, because it's not. It's all about growth. It's all about growth of you and growth of others that aren't yet here. Right? 100 cappers, you get all the things you want, almost. Let's be honest. Right? 100 cappers, you get the hats, you get the events, you get the parties, you get the celebrations, you get the made for you marketing, you get all those things, right? Because it affords us the opportunity to do those things. Today, right? We can do some of those things. We can't do all of them. Right? Because it takes time and energy and money. It also takes the market to be a little bit better than it is right now. So let's talk about the agent experience. And we're going to focus on 3 categories here: training, recognition, 4 categories: training, recognition, customer service, and events. So when we talk about training, I think a couple things. One, a lot of agents come to Keller Williams. Why? Training, right? How many of you, as a new agent, you interviewed at another brokerage and they told you what? Go to Keller Williams. Right.
Then come back.
That's out there, right? It's been said. There are brokerages in town that do it. Go to Keller Williams and then come back and talk to me once you've been trained, right? Where do you think that statement comes from? You think there's some truth in it? On more ways than one, right? There's truth in it that we are the new agent training ground, right? We've been recognized for that. There's also truth in it that then come back to us, because we tend to leave you all out once you aren't a new agent anymore. Right? So, however, I don't need training on the calendar every week for top performers, because are you all going to show up? No. My vision is, and I want you to correct me, I want to hear from you what you think. My vision is that we have training for top producers once or twice a month. What that looks like, a mastermind a month that's an invite only. It's the top performer. It's exclusive, because you need to be in a different room. That's not to mean that all you aren't top performers. You'll all get there. There'll be opportunities for masterminds for everyone. And yet the top producers in a room looks a little different. And so a mastermind, and then another training that would be open to everybody. Something like Value Squared, Career Visioning, Business Planning Clinic, that aren't taught by me, that aren't taught by someone in the office. We're bringing someone in to teach those, because I believe we need to remove the noise on the calendar for top producers. So we're creating a capper calendar, a producer calendar. It's going to be removing the noise and creating more white space, so that you can quickly cut through the noise and see, here's the things I want to be at. Hearing that, give me some feedback. Training. What do you hear? What do you not hear that you want? I was looking at you and thinking about that, Maria. It's on my, it is on my growth plan to make it happen. And I'm happy to hear it said in the room. What else? Sarah. This is my chicken scratch, but I promise I know what it means. What else? Sarah.
That utilize various needs, sources and maybe some follow-up that would be directly relevant to that.
Yep. Was that you, Paul? Best practices? Tammy.
And I speak from experience, we have spent months in trying to design a valuable and different smart plan. I know there's a lot of videos out there. I know that there's basic generic smart plans. But to actually learn how to build them is quite complicated.
Okay. Okay. Anything else on the training area? What are we missing? What are the things that you're like, I would rearrange my calendar to come to a class on, I would move a closing. I heard Quantum Leap, I heard marketing, and then I heard free marketing.
Our consultation. Something to do with that?
Love that. What about a seller consult too?
Buyer and seller consultation was talked about really big when I started in 16 with Carrie. And I've asked agents in the past few years, what does your consult look like? It's like one page of that.
Yeah.
And mine is a lot bigger. And then there are generic ones from Keller Williams, but everything you do has to be made your own.
Sure.
So, and I haven't. You know, I send my clients a lot more stuff than others do, and the feedback that I've got is they don't read it. So where is the buyer and seller consult?
Sure. Yeah, well, I've got some connections to mega agents in other markets that are similar price points that we can bring in to talk to us about that. And you know, what's happening in the current market. I think there's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of things that honestly we just don't do. And I think there's a difference to that point between a pre-listing packet and a listing packet, right? So there's the pre-listing, what we're going to show up and talk about, and then there's the listing packet of that. The things we want them to read are in that, right? And let's be honest, a pre-listing packet and really a listing presentation, 98% of the time is not about the content in it. It's the fact that we have one, right? It's branding, it's marketing, and if you as a room all had your own listing packet that was unique to you, and you just sent it out before you went to the listing appointment, guess what? You're the only one that did it. You're going to stand out because you actually did something beforehand as opposed to the agent that just shows up, right? Shay.
So just for clarity, because I'm a newcomer, I asked Val, I said, is Andrew speaking to everyone in the room?
Yeah.
Or just the cap?
No, sorry. Yes, sorry for not providing clarity around that. I'm speaking to everybody in the room. One, I see you all as cappers. You might not be cappers yet, right? You're all cappers. You've all been through some form or variation of Ignite, right? You've gotten our foundational training. I need to know where the gaps are, right? I also need to know the things that you want to come to. Sarah.
Maybe just do a class on highlighting some of the biggest obstacles we're seeing our clients overcome in this work.
Yes, love that. So this is just a start, right? I want to honor your time today. We could spend hours masterminding around this. What I want you to hear in this is the door is open, right? Send your ideas, Tasha. That's a great question. Yep. Jason is not here today. He's in charge of that. Let me figure out when. Yes. You mean CES? I don't know what CTE. The what? I have no idea what that is. Okay. I'll put it on the list. So what I'm saying here is communication is open. Send us your ideas, right? Let me know. What do you want to see, right? You come up with something. When do we do our best thinking? In the morning when you're doing your hair, right? For me, it's on my drive or when I'm in my car, right? Record a note, send it to me, right? Like email, or most of you don't have this yet. I decided I liked you, so I'll give you my number.
That's like,
Wait, that lives here.
Lots of 8s. It doesn't mean I don't love you. All right. Recognition. Yes, there's a typo. I literally gave this to Daniel 10 minutes before the meeting and said, can you throw these things on the screen? And he threw together slides. So Daniel came through. How did it feel today? We recognized some top agents, right? Was that important? What other ways do you want to be recognized? Think about your agent experience, right? You only have one first closing. You only have one first listing, right? We only have 3 top producers in each category every month. It doesn't mean we can't recognize other people. And I don't want to be because some of you in the room, I already hear it. You get a car and you get a car and you get a car, right? I don't want to be Oprah and just hand out recognition for sake of recognition. Yet I want to know where you are, right? Like, what are we missing? What are we not seeing that's happening for you as an agent that you want us to recognize? Does that make sense? Oh, all the hands. All the hands. I'm going to start in the back with Chris. Okay.
Went above and beyond in kindness or helping or
Love it.
whatever. It was the ugliest gnome that you've ever seen. Somebody tried to hash it out, yes. Yet it was a very emotional because the person that got it the next month, they gifted it to the next person and told the story of why.
I love it. That's awesome. I know the hands came up. There was someone else, Ethiel.
So for me, it's important, the way humans have evolved and we stayed and survived as a species was to recognize what we did well, what went well and what went fast. So because when we can all gripe about things that are going wrong.
Sure.
And when you gripe about that, it only invites more griping.
Sure.
But if we recognize what went well, what are you doing in your business that has made things move along, especially in chat, I have one that's been pending for over a year now. I've had sellers in prison. What do you do to work around, how do you win at that? But those, something that's related to a transaction that has been a challenge, but to recognize that, you get through it. How do you recognize? That's why I also when you start a meeting, tell me something good.
Yep.
And kudos to people that invites more positive energy and run, because we all got enough we can complain about.
Yep, we do. Tammy.
I love the recognition part because not only does the person you're recognizing, it gives them a warm fuzzy feeling, but I like it more so because it lets everybody else know that that is possible. Like those numbers today, that you shared. Some of the newer agents, that shows them that all things are possible.
Yep.
First of all,
I love it.
those numbers are not something I've never seen numbers like that ever in my life on anything ever. So to me, in my mind, before, hearing everyone talk, it's that's not something that's realistic. But when we have these and you're like, oh, wow, these people are sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same thing I'm doing. It's oh, I actually can do something like that. So.
I love it.
Difference.
I think that there's a lot of people here who, when we used to do listing competitions, and it's hard to compete with someone who's been in business. It feels hard to compete with someone who's been in business 40 years. However, we did a 1 to 5 year or 1 to 3 year, 3 categories of how long you've been in business. And sometimes the early people actually outperformed the 10+ year people.
Love
And
it.
actually seeing that
And I am very competitive.
I love it.
And like, it was on a wall in office. like,
Yep.
What people have done, you're like, oh. And Robbie and I are in the same category. So. I love that.
I'm a little
Yeah.
bit.
Robbie.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
One of the one of the other things we're gonna do in the recognition category, and I didn't get them printed in time for today, and you might think it's cheesy. I think it's fun. And I thought there's no way people are gonna go for this. We'll see. It's called Burlington Bucks. So it's fake money. Doesn't really mean anything outside these doors. And you're going to be recognized for random things. So you come to a training, it might be worth 5 Burlington bucks. You come to, you get your first closing, it might be 100 Burlington bucks. You cap, you might get 50, right? Whatever it may be. And and what we're gonna do, Maria, is no, you're right on it. I love it. So we will have a Burlington Bucks auction every month on different things, right? So it's gonna be KW gear, it's gonna be a free month of office rent, a free month of agent bill, right? Different things, right? So you can choose to save your bucks and it's going to be an auction. So you bid on it, right? It doesn't cost you anything. We see you do something good in the community and you might just have a leadership team member come and drop some bucks in your hand. Right. So it's an opportunity for us to recognize you, celebrate you, the things you're doing, and bring some of that recognition to it. And then we'll let you bid on some things. So to create some fun. Yeah, we could do that. We could do bucks for like a token or coin that works the drink machine. Yeah, we can look into that. I love it. And then we've got 2 more categories. One doesn't have a slide. Customer service, this is more about what we're working towards and what we expect. Compliance, we've had a lot going on in the real estate commission, y'all. It's a little wild, which has made compliance a little bit slower because of paying attention to details. However, our goal is to get caught up. We're working on that. Thank you for your patience. And after we're caught up, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, our goal is to review every file within 48 business hours of submission. So 2 business days. Because what we don't want to do is that file sits there because it got bogged down the day of closing or day before you get it reviewed, you're missing something, and all of a sudden you have to run and it delays your check. We're standing behind that. We're going to fix it. And we're working to get caught up on that. And in 2 business days of submission, this is why it's important you submit early. We haven't done the best job of rewarding that. We're going to reward that by reviewing those files in 2 business days, Tammy. Jason and a compliance team. Yeah, so he has some agents that he works with. Yeah. Currently, yes. And then commissions, check in by noon on a business day. File is clear, commission is submitted, all by noon. It'll be processed the same day. As soon as ACH is up and running, as long as your bank is one that plays well with others, not Wells Fargo, it should go into your bank account the next day. Wells Fargo normally has an extra day of hold on it. So within 1 to 2 business days, as long as you've done your part, we're going to do our part. It's going to go in your bank account. Yes.
That email for the, bank.
Yes, the ACH information. Yeah, we're going to follow up on all that for those. Yes. So you all should have gotten an email from me about collecting new ACH information. That's because we're making a bank transition to Truist Bank. We're working on getting that ACH set up. So if you haven't submitted new ACH information, we'll be sending out a new email today requesting updated information because we want to make sure we're not pulling from an old file and you changed bank accounts and then we'd send it to the wrong bank. All right, that's why we've been cutting paper checks in the interim. We want to make sure your money gets to you, doesn't get lost in outer space. We have to wait for it to come back before we can get it to you. Chris. Oh, in a perfect world, we will be done cutting paper checks on Friday this week. My goal is no later than the first business day of July, but ideally next week. We're working through the final details of that. I think we got the final pieces we needed this morning to be able to start that process. Yes, Paul? Your profit sharing is different. So if you need to update your profit share, you have to do that. We can't do that one anymore. So when you go in and you update your profile, if you go into command, go to your profile, there's a section, there's a link to update your profit share. Daniel, we see if we can find a video on how to do that. And we'll put it in the email we send out with the ACH information request on also how to update your profit share if you need to. Yep. Yep.
But if it's the same, you still go in.
If your bank account has not changed, your profit share is fine. You don't have to touch it. Nothing's affected by that. It is fine. It's our system, not the profit share system. Yes. Commissions one, we need a new one regardless if nothing has changed. Profit share is not. Okay. Any questions, comments, thoughts, commissions compliance? I think that's pretty straightforward and pretty fair, right? As long as your file's clear, check in by noon, it'll be processed the same day. Should be in your bank account within 1 business day. It might take 2 or 3 depending on your bank. However, we're committed to making that happen. Chris? It's in DocuSign, which is secured. It can be, yeah, that is a DocuSign link, so it is secured with DocuSign. If you don't want to do that, you can print it and bring it to us. Yes. That is the firm's DocuSign. Yeah. Not mine. I don't get to take it with me when I leave. All right. One last thing.
What do you mean when?
When? Oh, I'm not allowed to leave? Well, yeah, we're not gonna go there. No, I'm not leaving. Not anytime soon. That's for sure. The one last thing is events, and I don't have a slide for that because I didn't give it to Daniel. And we're not gonna spend much more time here because we're after 12 and I want to give Eastwood a minute. Think about what events you want to see and have, right? Those could be culture events that we celebrate together as a KW family. They could also be events like photos with Santa. Hear me out here. Photos with Santa, every agent in the... So what we do, we would organize the event as the market center. Every agent that wants to participate would pay a fee to participate. You could then invite your database to that event. They would get their photos with Santa, right? Does that make sense? Think of events like that, events that we could orchestrate. We'll do all the marketing and give it to you to customize to you. You pay a fee to participate to help offset the cost of the event. We're going to help you throw those events. Think of that. I would love to start with like one of those a quarter. So in Q3 being the first one. So think about what those events could be. A client event, right, that we can organize. Everybody pays a smaller fee to participate, so you don't take on a $2,000 or $3,000 bill, right? You take on $100 or $200 bill, right? We want to help be leverage for you, right? It goes back to that service piece. Any thoughts? Was all this helpful, y'all? Okay. Hopefully that reinforces what I said, which is we're here to serve you, right? This isn't about Andrew or the Andrew show or the Daniel show or the Robbie show or the River show or the Jason show or the PC team show. It's about you. You're on stage and we want to make you look really good. We get to be the behind the scenes set designers, help you call the shots, help direct, but ultimately you're the star. And that's what we want to do every day. Let's thank you to our Eastwood Home sponsors. I'm gonna have them come up. If they want to come up, come on. I'll give you all that.
I'm not a microphone guy.
Well, some people are on Zoom, so that's why we're giving you a mic.
Okay, we'll stand in front of the microphone, but I feel like I'm among friends, so. So let me first say, every time I come to Keller Williams, I feel like I can run through a brick wall, right? Can we give a quick hand for this? This is awesome because you guys have, I think, a different level of not just training, but motivation that no other brokerage in the triad has. I mean, I know the training piece is huge because I was in general brokerage for just a little while, about 2 years or whatever, but I was told to go somewhere else because I didn't need the Keller Williams training. But every time I come here, I'm like, I can do this. Well, one of the takeaways that we had today was the Y4C two T's.
Yeah.
If someone would be so brave enough to stand up and tell me what the first T was
It was
and what the tagline was. No. I want to get, there's a purpose in this. So what was the first T and what was the tagline?
Someone stand up. You didn't do
Was
it.
it the first team?
It's the first T.
Who's got it?
Oh, right here.
Here we
Mike's
go,
got
here
it.
we go.
Trust begins with honesty.
That's it. Starts with honesty. Trust starts with honesty.
Trust starts with honesty. That's,
You,
here we go. So that is for you. That is a $50 gift card for you.
Ooh, there it is.
So. So obviously I need a little more training because I thought the first T was teamwork.
Oh, that's the
But
second T.
That's what the second T. But either way, Mike got it. So Mike, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ty Clark.
and I'm Melly Tatum.
And we,
Thank you.
and we won't be before you very long. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to come in. And we wanted to, I guess, introduce or reintroduce Eastwood Homes to some of you, I guess. How many of you have sold an Eastwood home before? I
We've
see
gotta
one
fix
hand.
that.
Okay, how many of you know about Eastwood Homes? Okay, well, at least there's a lot more hands there. So we are I would say a regional builder. Our company is based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and our Triad division reaches all the way from Winston-Salem to
Mebane.
Mebane. And inside the handouts that we gave, the folders that we gave, we've given you some of the inventory information that we have at our Wexford community, not
Not
Wexford,
Westford, Verona. right there.
Verona community that's here in Burlington, as well as our Magnolia Glen community that is in Mebane. So the biggest thing that we want you guys to understand is we have inventory. It was said earlier that, things are down in the market, but if you've been reading and looking at market reports, new construction is up.
Want me to piggyback?
No, go right ahead.
So just to kind of piggyback on the fact that we have inventory, we at Verona are a team, me and Ty. So we currently have 9 houses that are available. And we encourage you guys to treat it like your listings, bring people out. And then we also have, do you want to talk about the other two communities?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ty and I don't just oversee Verona, which is right up the street, but we also oversee Wexford, which is going to be our newest community in Elon. And
And
what is the other one?
and Chandler Oaks.
Chandler Ridge.
It's Chandler Ridge.
Chandler
That's
Ridge.
what, see, that's why I don't do microphones. Microphones make me nervous.
Chandler Ridge, which is in McLeansville. So all 3 of those are seen by Ty and I. And then David, who left earlier, he is in Mebane.
And so again, we just recently did a presentation with a group of brokers. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure that brokers understand is that even with the NAR settlement starting next month or whatever, Eastwood Homes loves brokers and our broker partners. And so we are not changing anything. We plan on paying you every dime that you deserve because you guys are the heart of the market, right? You guys are handling the buyers and consulting them on where they need to be. Millie and I would just like to be a part of the tools in your tool bag. Does that make sense?
Love it.
Right? Because we are kind of going back to the second T. We want to work in tandem with you. We want to be have some teamwork, right? Because we're not the opposition, right? We may be the seller's agent, but we're certainly on the same side with you, the broker, because ultimately we have the same goal to service your client.
Love it.
So we
Love
have
it.
inventory. We're going to pay you guys. And I have a question here. Great question.
I can tell you.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
in Verona right now, we are offering 5.49 if you use our preferred lender. And you also get $10,000 in flex money. So you can use that towards closing costs. You can use it to buy down the rate even further from the 5.49 appliances. So that's
Yeah.
just our community, but every community has something different. We have a community in Greensboro that's 4.99. So it's just depends on the community.
And so-
Eastwood builds a great product, y'all. They were in the Columbia market when I was in Columbia. So if you haven't been out to one of their communities, go see the product they build. They do build a really nice product. Do y'all have a model?
Absolutely.
So could we like maybe set up a headshot day to come do in your model?
We would love that.
Would you all want to do
Yeah.
that? Some updated headshots in their model? Okay.
And I guess to incentivize you guys to come even sooner than that, Millie and I were in the back trying to plot and plan on how we can give you guys some more money today. So we want to put a social media challenge out because I know at least for me, when I was in general brokerage, marketing was the hardest thing for me, right? I can sell all day, but the putting myself out there, I needed to be incentivized. So we want to put out a social media incentive that we will pay for the first 2 people that come out to our model, to our community and shoot some content and gets at least, what do we say, 15, 20?
15.
15, get 15 likes.
Just
We're gonna-
15
We're gonna
likes.
set the bar low. We just want you to come out. The first 2 that can send us a screenshot with 15 likes on their post will receive $50.
I'm there today, y'all. So after I leave here, I'll be right at the model.
There you go. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's right down the road. So
Oh,
Yeah.
the only qualifier is that your face needs to be in the video.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
All y'all's faces are fixed today, so you're good.
But again, we appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity. Anything that we can do to come out and help, please let us know.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
and if y'all didn't get a folder, I have a bunch of them. So oh wow.
Oh,
I got them.
she's got you taken care of.
No, but we can bring some.
Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.